half and hope that the weather stays the same for them in the second.
I think that's a given, Smithy.
What, the weather?
Yep.
Okay. Wellington calling us, mate.
Bergquist with the restart. Loose ball gathered by Kano. He's turned into a Kano tonight. He was a Kano last week. I'm confused, Stewie. We get different messages.
This has been a very good display. First 24 minutes by the Auckland team. Just the two handling errors. Three handling errors now. That one with Jerome Kano. With hogging all the ball. 65% of the ball in very wet conditions. And they've lost control of that only 3 times. And that's pretty good skills.
Pause, engage!
Early shove from Auckland.
Yep, there you go.
So away goes George Nauapu. Just out from the 22. Now Bergquist looking to step his way through. Good progress too, right near the 22. Carried on by Bryn Evans. Now the captain, Michael Johnson. Working the blind side. It's been so good for them this year, Hawke's Bay, as the referee put his arm out. So I'm assuming, yes, penalty. Offside against Auckland. Interesting call here.
Now here to play, these boys. Their line-out's been pretty good this year. Running at about 87% success rate. A little bit more difficult in wet, horrible conditions.
Elliott, Auckland challenging. Boy, isn't it good to see a defending team challenging. And what do you know, it worked. Moa slams it downfield. Oh, he's put it down, but that's all right. Oh, he got hit too in the tackle. Lefewa couldn't hang on to it. Now it's been kicked down. And Zach Guilford is taking a long time to get up. In the meantime, the ball drifting towards the touch. Boy, what a kick that is. And Zach Guilford has stayed down.
Yeah, it was a little late.
Yeah, not only that, I don't think there were too many arms in the challenge.
No, it was a little late. You might find it's the blue and white captain. Now, he takes his time, gets rid of the ball in the kick. No. Doesn't look as bad as the result, but he's a bit sore. Rookie of the year for me. What about you?
Yeah, right up there, isn't he?
He certainly is a talent.
Okay, so where the kick landed, penalty.
Yeah,
Can you go and get a mark,
touches
please?
involved. Good on him.
Well, where the kick landed was way back inside the 22.
The late hit. Okay, I'll go for the... Yeah, I'm just saying it's late. Yeah. Penalties where the ball's landed. He hit my head, Polly. That's the way it is.
Well, like any good captain, Sam Tuitupo wants to argue. I don't say some of the late, it's more the no arms.
Yeah, no arms, but there's a little bit of lateness in there.
Late-ish.
18-year-old, you know, superstar on the rise. Welcome to the big world. He's a talent.
Now really, they're going to take the 3 here, don't they?
Well, middle of the track, this is an easier kick.
Chews up a minute or two and ensures that they get on the board.
Problem in the second half for Hawke's Bay, though, wind or no wind at their back, is getting the ball off Auckland. I mean, their control has been so good. And Stu, as you know, sometimes when you play into the wind, it's easier to hold on to it.
Smithy, it's a solitary 1 minute that Hawke's Bay have spent in Auckland's 22 in the first 27 minutes.
Bergquist guiding in through. Hawke's Bay have their first points in the semi-final. 17 points to 3.
Well, that's the first points they've got. They missed around about the 9th, 10th minutes with Bergquist missing a handy shot. He nailed that one. Team likes to feel that they're in the game because they just clicked over the scoreboard.
Good chasing up here by Auckland. The reluctance to kick on the part of Hawke's Bay, and that might count against them here. Looks as though Hawke's Bay managed to step over this, but it was a near thing. Now back for Bergquist, kicking into the wind, remember, and not a bad contact really. I think that was Zach Guilford again, wasn't it, Smithy?
Yep, it was again. He's on the receiving end.
He was a bit hesitant then, though, Smithy. I just wonder whether he's still feeling that knock.
I'm sure he is.
You know, make the decision. May not be the right one, but make one and just do it.
McCartney to throw. 12 minutes remaining, first half. Williams off the top, not straight.
Just saw there, Grant, that although it was crooked throw, Nathiwa is taking that ball very, very flat. You know, they're determined not to get knocked over behind the advantage line to give Hawke's Bay any chance of a breakout.
Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage. Use that.
Snapped off the back by Webb. Now Eaton thumps it away downfield. I think he was standing outside the 22. Yes, he was. So it was a pretty useful looking kick, but the wind grabbed it. And Auckland had this line out just out from the 22. Tom McCartney, who wouldn't have dreamed at the start of the season he'd be the #1 hooker.
He's just a young man too, around about 22 years of age, who's got a great future.
Good throw that time. Now Tupo
Roll out White.
running hard and straight, as he always does. Moa, quick pass by Haiu. They've still got it though, even though it was a no-look pass. Outstanding handling of the ball here by Auckland. Here's Smith trying to wade his way through tackles. Braid is there, as he so often is. Moa. Haiu, short pass again to Tupo. Tried to throw the pass. It was knocked down by a Hawke's Bay hand. Now Kano.
Roll 5.
Moa goes again, using his bulk. Tupo, who's been involved 3 times so far in this movement.
8 away.
Moa. Nathiwa, the inside pass to Ben Artinger. Quite remarkable handling, really. They've mishandled the ball twice in the match, and they've had 64% of the possession.
Get off it.
Now it's going to come to this near side for big Brad Mika.
Holding on. 7 tackler, stretch his feet.
It was a very good tackle that. Twisted him onto his back, and he was reluctant to let it go. So Hawke's Bay get the advantage of the penalty.
A lot of phases in there. There's the stats, 71% of territory, 64% of ball. They're using that inside pass, Smithy. You know, one out from the ruck, then they pass it back in. They're playing they're playing safety first rugby in these conditions.
Well, they're just playing to the conditions, as Pat Lamb intimated before. They might have had to change their game plan a wee bit, but they've changed it effectively. And you can just see on some of the Hawke's Bay faces, this is starting to really pay some dividends for Auckland. Some of those boys bent over a wee bit at that penalty stoppage. Just sucking in the big ones, Stewie, because it's been a torrid first half of defence.
Again, Auckland up in the line out, making it hard for Hawke's Bay. Eaton can't control it. Now Opu does instead. Over the head of Benson Stanley. Egan chasing. Now Ward. Again, the weighted kick from Brent Ward, and he's put it just a little bit too far. He definitely didn't try and belt that. He was hoping just to drop it in behind the Hawke's Bay defence, but just a little too far.
Good player, Brett Ward. Right, Hawke's Bay. Clean line out if we can grab one. They'll be looking for their men. Bryn Evans, Matt Egan, Michael Johnson. Even now they've got George Nalpu in there. They've got 4 genuine leapers. They took one of the looses out, they've shortened it.
Elliott goes deep. Tipped on the Hawke's Bay side, but they've let it go. And Hayu, it knocked back for Taumoipia.
All the way, two!
Moa standing in the pocket. Nathiwa bangs it high. Stanley coming down. Ball bounced away. I don't think Dag even got a hand on it. Well, yes, he did apparently.
Great pressure on a great kick. Henson Stanley on the left here timed his challenge to perfection, and Dag saw him coming the whole way.
Yeah, it was a good kick, Smithy, because it just went up and he used the drift with the wind. And, he might have actually done well, or the decision to just basically miss that one, because Benson Stanley cleaned out Rico Gear in a game a couple of weeks ago that would have caused a bit of swelling on the rib cage. Someone down. Hawke's Bay. Need in a doctor. Well, this is what the Auckland were going to do. You know, in that round 6, they tried to suffocate the Hawke's Bay pack down in Napier. And they tried to take the crowd out of the equation by eliminating this very famous Hawke's Bay rolling maul. And of course, they've got a very strong forward pack. And you nullify this group of men, the jerseys 1 to 8, and you've got a good chance.
Well, they lose Bryn Evans at the moment anyway. Will Crutchley in jersey 18, who's a big, tall young man. Player on the improve, but this is a big step up for him against the likes of Williams and Hayu and Mika.
So is that a blood bin, Smithy?
Yeah, blood bin by the look of it.
Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage!
Auckland scrum holds up well for Moa. Nathia. These guys are offside as they come charging through. Well, he's going to check it, but I tell you what, they were offside. The try is going to be awarded, I suspect. They look pretty confident.
Breathe. Are you there?
In league, they'd be able to look at the offside, wouldn't they?
Tell me who has grounded the ball first.
Not interested in that.
Roger.
No, it's just who grounded it. The offside doesn't come into the equation. So Sam Tuitupu comes through and claims it. On first look, you'd have to give that. This one, right, a bounce. Oh, he just goes underneath, claims it. That looks pretty good to me.
Looks pretty conclusive, doesn't it? Hawke's Bay player looks like he's waiting for a favourable bounce. It was Batcher. And
Chris, I've got a decision.
You sprint.
You can award the try.
so the try given to Sam Tuitupu, Auckland's third tonight. 22 points to 0.
Watch this kick from, it was like a little wee, off his right foot, he just hooked it back in field over the top. And you know, you look at what Ben Batcher could have done. Maybe a bit of talk from the guys that were around him that there was heat on him. He just could have basically slid in there and covered that, but would have forced a 5-yard scrum. So he waited patiently, but unfortunately, Sam Tuitupu got in there, got underneath the defender, and claimed the try. Pretty well taken.
Yeah, it was well taken, Stu, and no more deserving player either, really. Set up by two of Auckland stars throughout the season. Nathiwa, another depth touch. She's about to put the icing on as well, but he never gives in to Tupo and deserves that.
Conversion attempt is from Isa Nathiwa. 24 points to 3 on the try scored by Sam Tuitupu. The kick made by Nathiwa. Tui Tupo looked at least half a pace ahead, but nevertheless, the try given. Four and a half minutes remaining, first half. Bergquist's kick is well clapped. No, it's not high. It slipped through his hands, but it went back. And now the rim touch.
Well, Hawke's Bay are any hope in this match now? They simply cannot let Auckland score again before half-time. That would be too big a hurdle, you would think, for a side who's used to coming back from behind. They've done it quite recently very effectively, but not quite from this far.
Well, 29% territory. The game's been played in Hawke's Bay territory. Here's loose ball for Afawa. Picks it up beautifully. Stampeding his way down to halfway. Maua. Again, the kick by Nathiwa. And flying after this is Stanley. But into touch.
Intelligent rugby Auckland are playing. They're using the boot effectively. That little small chip kick. She just hooked right to left. Nathiwa for Sam Tuitupu to score. Nathiwa again pushing the little chip kick through just to keep their forward pack rolling onto it. Using the inside ball with runners off the rucks, just keep popping the inside pass.
Crutchley, oh, he had it, but he lost it. McCartney takes it back in field. Picked up by Kano. He's running backwards, trying to free his way. Now it's been knocked down by Crutchley. And he's knocked it on. I thought he'd lost his radar for a moment, Jerome Kano.
Well, we saw the Wellington Lions make two passes with the ball just running along the ground last night. So he's a big lad, that. That Will Crutchley.
6'9" in the old term, Stu.
6'9". Hey, tell me what, when he sits down, let his ears pop. That height.
He'd be no good in row 32. C, would he, Stewie? Well, C's all right. It's an aisle. What about E? Struggle to get the tray table down.
Struggle to get in the plane, mate.
24 points to 3. Just over 2 minutes left in the first half.
Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage.
Maua. Nathiwa. Another kick coming up. Tinga this time. Ball lost by Dag. Tinga takes it in. Maua. Nathiwa again drops the kick in there. Boy, I don't know whether my eyes are deceiving me or not, but those Auckland players, when he makes the kick, pretty much always half to a pace offside.
Yeah, they're using the laws to their favour, but you know, you just keep on rolling with that until someone pings you.
Important minute and a half here for Hawke's Bay. I think as you say, Smithy, if they conceded another one, make life very difficult. Elliott throws, hooked back by Auckland, challenging everything. Maua throws it away, throws it straight to George Naapu, puts the kick in, looks to get it back, and the ball goes into touch. Knocked on, I suspect, by Naapu. But just getting a little bit fancy. Tani Alamoa, have a look at this.
You could just see it coming.
Yes.
Yeah, and so did George. Read it very well.
Yeah, he did it well, didn't he, Stu? That was not easy to haul in. So just a little bit of life in Hawke's Bay before half-time, and they've actually been very good at cashing in on opposition mistakes this year. Maybe they'll get something from that.
Yes, I'm sure Pat Lam and Shane Howarth will just be mentioning to Tani Alamoa, don't get too cute. they've got to win the semi-final.
Well, that's the first time they have been cute tonight. You know, I thought they've been very, very structured with what they're doing. They know exactly what to do out there in these conditions. They've used the kick well. They've passed the ball well. They've used the inside runner well. They've scored 3 tries. And little things like that you don't need in the game right at this moment.
Touch. Pause. Engage.
Oh, gets it away nicely under pressure. Again, the cross kick comes. Chaser's coming at high speed. Sits up and, oh, there's a big clash. But everyone's up and running, so that's okay. But again, one of those deft kicks by Issa Nathiwa.
Half a chance here, Israel Dag, if he gathered it. There was no one behind Brent Ward. If he'd have slipped through there somehow with ball in hand.
Well, see, that's, you know, that's a different kick. I mean, he was actually kicking for his attackers out wide, where he could have really just put it to big boot and boot it downtown.
Clean line-out win. I haven't seen many of those from Hawke's Bay. Taken in by Sam Giddens. There goes the siren indicating half-time. Hawke's Bay have been met by some forceful defence. Now Eaton works it off to Johnston. Michael Johnson.
Roll 3.
Hawke's Bay with one last rally just before half-time. Elliott. Bergquist. Now Apu tries to get through some tackles again. Defence is very solid. Eaton for Bergquist, holds it up for Crutchley and the big number 18. They're still 10 out from the 22. Eaton decides to kick it out, and that is the end of the first half. It's been a half dominated by Auckland, and certainly they've had the elements, but they've picked up 3 tries to lead at the break by 24-3.
Yes, a good, smart 40 minutes of work by the Blue and Whites. Kicked when they needed to, scored tries when the opportunities were there. Good kicking display by Issa Nathiwa. Forward pack, particularly Bradley Meeker, making some damaging runs in around the close fringes. They'll be pretty happy with their 3 tries. But now it's Hawke's Bay turn with the conditions, with the wind behind them. Don't discount this team.
Tries by Tau Moipiao, Smith and Tui Tupo. Half-time, second semi-final of the New Zealand Cup. It's Auckland 24, Hawke's Bay 3. Difficult conditions in Eden Park for the second semi-final of the Air New Zealand Cup, and it's been a half dominated by Auckland. Certainly they had the strong easterly behind them in the rain. 3 tries, good goal kicking by Issa Nathiwa, and Matt Bergquist, a penalty goal for Hawke's Bay. 24 points to 3, an opportunity now to review the highlights. And before they actually scored their first try, Auckland went very close on a couple of occasions. Brad Meeker here turned on his back, and he couldn't get the ball down. And another occasion where he was actually in front of the man, and then the try did come, the first try.
Just watch Stanley Alamoa. He decides, come on boys, he's asking his backs to come in to add a little bit more weight and numbers. There's not enough in there. I counted only 2 backs out wide, so we're talking 7 forwards and say 5 backs, 8 forwards and 5 backs. And too many people in there. It's like it was a party. Hey, let's give him an invitation.
The man on the bottom of it all was Simone Taumoipiao, former All Black prop, of course. And it is he who gets over the white line to score the opening try of the match. Referee in good position to make the call. Right, second try here. 23 minutes gone. Auckland attacking as they've done for most of the first half. Have a look at David Smith. So elusive place to the line.
Yes, well, Ben Artinga set this move up when he made the initial bust. And David Smith close there with nice feet, good balance, too smart.
Then a kick through by Issa Nathiwa. Just a little bit passive on defence there, Ben Batcher. And Sam Tuitupo has crashed it underneath and scored the try.
Yeah, beautiful kick from Issa Nathiwa. And the territory and the stats, well, look at that. Auckland have had a harvest on the ball and the possession stakes. Key thing to me here, Nisbo, is 12 minutes they have spent in Hawke's Bay's 22. And with all that possession that they've had, which includes 10 pick and goes, 7 lineouts, the handling errors of Auckland have basically been outstanding. Only 3. Fantastic effort.
So at half-time, Auckland, they will turn and play into the wind in the second half, but they have a good advantage, 24 points to 3. Auckland scoring 3 tries in the first half and leading by 24 points to 3. Hawke's Bay, well, it's a big mountain to climb in the second spell, but they will have the wind behind them. That'll help in terms of territory anyway, but they're going to have to show the same handling skills, Stu, as we saw from Auckland. That was quite remarkable. Yeah,
it was. Just the 3 times. And when you look at Hawke's Bay, they've had 6 handling errors, but they only had 37% of the ball. Auckland had 63 and still only had 3 handling errors, which is, to me, a superb effort in tiring wet conditions. I do think Hawke's Bay may well be missing Kyle Lowe, their very magical open side flanker. He got injured, didn't start tonight, so they brought in George Nalpu. Very, very good player, but he's very similar to Michael Johnson, so they're carrying 2 blindside flankers and no genuine out-and-out fetcher. And in these conditions, you need someone to get in there to match Daniel Braid.
The rain still belting down on Eden Park as referee Chris Pollock gets us going again in the second half. The kickoff is made and claimed by Curtis Hayu, who's had such an exceptional season for Auckland in that tight 5. Now busting away goes Kano. Kick made by Moa. Oh, collision by a couple of Hawke's Bay players. Loose ball, and they'll have to go back and tidy this up. Oh, Israel Dagg struggling. Knocked it back, and it's in touch.
We'll expect Auckland to muscle up again. They're not going to button off whatever they did in that first 40 minutes. It's just keep going as planned. This is just a generally big shambles. It's just this is a cock-up. One guy going back for the ball, one guy coming into the ball. The man coming into the ball has every right to grab that. But that's just lack of communication.
McCartney the throw. Tipped back by Williams. Noah regains his footing. Now Kano. Good, strong surge by Jerome Kano, but the ball's been ripped away. Snapped up by Chris Eaton. Wide it goes, and now there'll be some distance on these kicks in the second half. Although Auckland have it covered for the moment anyway. Ward, just inside his own half. Holding up. And bounces back from Webb. Gets the pass off to Naupu, now Elliott. Haven't seen Hawke's Bay running with the ball much in this game. Guilford, but he's stepped into touch.
This way you'll see Bryn Evans back. Remember, he was off for Crutchley with the blood bin situation. He's back on in jersey 5 in the little line out.
Well, that kick from Brent Ward, it was the bomb kick he put up, but that just got basically went nowhere. Just the wind got it, held it up. I would have thought Auckland might have brought that ball back by hand.
Free jump for Bradley Meeker. Now Auckland getting it wide. Ward goes down on a big tackle from Ben Batcher, but I think Batcher's come out of the second best. No, he's okay. Moa looks behind.